Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at upnradio.com.
Hello and welcome. We are Del and Debi's Mind, Body, Soul, the home of invigorating talk on all things to do with health and well-being. And I am Del Lady Jones, and I'm part of the co-hosts here, and I'm a certified transformational coach and a 3 principles teacher and practitioner. I help my clients achieve psychological well-being in all areas of their life, regardless of their external circumstances. And before I introduce my fabulous co-host, I'd like to remind everybody that we are a call-in show, and our call-in number is 323-284-7826. And we also are running live on our Facebook page, Del and Debi's Mind, Body, Soul, so you can catch us live there, and you can post any comments or questions you might have on the Facebook page too. So now I get to my wonderful co-host, Debi.
Thank you, Del. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show today. I am one of your co-hosts. I am Debi Carlin Boyle, and I am certified as a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, and an integrative nutrition, health, and wellness coach. And it's my job to help people find balance in their life with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plates. And we have a spectacular show for you today, so we want you to stay with us, call in, become part of it. Our guest today is Mikal Vega. He's a 22-year combat Navy SEAL veteran who suffered a combat-related injury, and upon returning home, his ability to heal was hindered by care providers unwilling to explore anything other than talk therapy and prescriptions that not only masked the root problem, So after exploring a variety of options, Mikal found Kundalini Yoga, which helped him restore peace and balance to his life. Mikal is committed to sharing his practice and experience in his classes through his Vital Warrior project. Mikal is a warrior, a poet, an activist, an actor, a stuntman, and a filmmaker. Mikal is committed to sharing what he has learned through his service to our country. And today, on this day, September 11th, when we honor all of those who lost their lives 17 years ago and those that continue to protect our country, we, Del and I, are so honored to welcome our guest, Mikal Vega, to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, very appropriate to have you on today. Thank you so much.
It worked out. I'm glad.
It did. It was just sort of kismet, but it just so happened that this was a free time for all of us.
It was great. It's great. Meant to be.
Wonderful. So we always like to, we know that you have an incredible story, but we'd like to just go a little bit further back and learn a little bit about, where you grew up and how you got to becoming a Navy SEAL.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Yes.
Where'd you get that name?
That's interesting story. I wasn't what you'd consider a prime Navy SEAL candidate.
Really?
Growing up.
Sounds intriguing.
I wasn't into sports. I wasn't into anything physical, really, other than dance and musical theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When you were really young, that was what you loved?
When I was 7, I used to beg my grandmother to send me to acting lessons, and we were in Ohio.
I was
born
going to
in
say,
Ohio.
you were born in Ohio.
So you're a Billy
and
Elliot.
They were farmers.
Yeah.
And they were farmers. So she's like, that's nice, honey. You want to be an actor? That's great. I was like, I'm going to own a Lamborghini one day. She's like, I know you are, honey. Oh. She was amazing. She was like my mother, too. She was my mother, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I didn't go to acting lessons or anything like that as a child, but she did buy me a Super 8. And I started making these films. And I remember being so enthralled with seeing and putting these things together. I mean, I didn't have the internet to research on how to splice film and everything like that. But at 7, I was doing that.
Wow.
Like I was
being
figuring it
adventurous
out.
and figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so all the way through, I started, in elementary school with singing, and then junior high got into madrigals and did that all the way through high school and performed around the nation and won
Amazing.
nationals for singing and stuff like that.
So you're a singer too.
yeah,
Wait, I don't have that on the list.
Yeah. Actually, I'm working on an album right now.
Oh,
Fabulous.
really?
It's a mantra album.
Multi-talented man.
I'll
Very
share some
cool.
of it with
Okay.
you. It's a product, one of those products that we're putting together with Vital Warrior
Yeah.
and
Okay, cool.
offering for free to veterans and active duty military and their families. So yeah, I was bullied a lot when I was a kid as a result, and
Dancer, singer.
and and I joined the military when I was 17, right out of high school. I went straight in like a month later.
With no
what was-
desire? Was there,
what was the
was
thought
the-
My
process?
father was a SEAL.
Okay.
Wow.
And
there we go.
so it was. I didn't even know what that was,
Yes.
to be honest with you. All I knew is that he had this energy about him that I really liked, and it was this strength that I really wanted, and and I got it.
Yeah.
So he didn't push you into it. Then it's something.
No, he
that
actually tried to keep me out of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Very
I
interesting.
didn't start out in the SEAL teams. He recommended that I go EOD first, which is Explosive Ordnance Disposal Bomb Squad. So if you've seen Hurt Locker,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
fine.
it's nothing like that.
No,
No.
it isn't.
It was a great movie. But
I thought they had really good tech support on, like technical advisors on that movie.
It was a very entertaining film,
Yeah.
but it's
for-
not.
But no-
it's not
For
a
drama's
great,
sake.
For
Yeah.
drama's sake, it was,
Yeah.
and visually,
Yes.
it was outstanding. But as far as depicting what these men and women actually do, it's
Yeah.
not very.
It wasn't accurate.
really, okay.
Interesting.
So
is that what you went in for?
that's what I went in.
You
for.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Yeah, because that was on the
I stayed there for about 9 years. In 2 of the detachments that I was in, we got to do a lot of stuff that supported the SEAL teams. And so I really started to learn more about what the SEALs were and started to learn more that, well, that's where I really want to be.
Yeah.
And it, because I was locked into such a niche type of community, it was very difficult to get and jump over to another one. It took me 6 years of trying. Now, I fell on my own sword a lot of times, gave them a lot of ammo to keep me and got in
Like
trouble.
what? Come on, share one.
It was just like, it was almost like I had to catch up on fighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In all those years that I didn't.
That you were
Yeah.
bullied. That you were bullied.
So
So,
Yeah.
So there
And
were a bunch
so-
of guys that were all tough and mean that you
No,
didn't feel.
no. I just like to go out and drink and fight in bars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I gotcha.
And that was one thing with me as in the military, is when I was at home, not so good. But when I was out doing the job, really, really good.
So when you were at home, when you say not so good, were you drinking?
I was drinking.
Okay.
I mean, it was I had a lot of challenges as a child, a lot of abuse, and I was alone. My mother had to work 2 jobs. My father
Only
was
child?
a SEAL, always gone.
Only child. Okay.
And so we went from babysitter to babysitter. We're out of welcome there, and then we'd hop around a lot.
That's why you
so-
said that your grandmother was really
yeah,
instrumental in
she was
raising you.
more of the motherly figure for me than my actual mother because
She had to work.
of the absence.
Yeah.
So, and some other things, but it was challenging, and everybody has these challenges. Everybody has. And
There's
this is
story.
leading up to everything, but everybody. I know we're Vital Warriors, the nonprofit that we started, and it's centered around helping veterans and active duty and everything. But everything applies to everybody because everybody has stuff that they've gone through.
Yeah, it's
Big time.
the psychological wounds,
Yeah.
that, like you might not know. I mean, whether you grow up in a dysfunctional family or it's post-traumatic stress disorder, I mean, you can have that growing up in a terribly abusive environment. You don't have to have gone to war for that.
It's,
In
and
fact,
go ahead.
No,
But
sorry.
I was just going to say it's part of why we do what we do, because we work with people that from trauma and from things that have happened throughout their childhood, they are, emotionally. For me, people are overeating. They're not taking care of themselves. They're just letting themselves go because they feel just defeated in so many ways. Yeah. And I like to help people get back into life and enjoy it and find the joy, and then everything starts to manifest.
That's the key, right there.
Exactly.
So when it came time to graduate high school, I really didn't have any direction, and so it was.
Can I just ask you what you said? Your father actually didn't encourage you to go to the SEALs, and he even tried to discourage you. What was it about the SEALs that he didn't think was a right fit for you?
I feel like I was not I wasn't a stable child, so the likelihood of success at that age, who knows? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I had a lot of life things that I was still dealing with when I went in the Navy. And to be quite honest, the Navy was kind of like a parent to me in those first,
I was going to say,
first 10 years.
Could actually help you.
Were absolutely helped me. Absolutely changed me.
To have focus.
It
to have camaraderie.
Camaraderie and a sense of family and belonging to something that was bigger than, just
yourself.
My little self.
Yeah, especially growing up as an only child.
Right. You don't know. You don't have the perspective until you get out and see the world. And I'm so thankful to all those leaders out there that didn't give up on me. Yeah. They saw something in me, probably because, like I said, doing the job itself, I was really good at that. So they take a lot of the other stuff with it and shape it.
Yeah,
right. Which they did. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think the overall product, is pretty good.
Yep.
So
it's very good.
And it's thanks to all those people that took that type of time and patience.
And there's also something true to your character too, to be able to grasp that and to take what they were handing out and for you to go with it.
Yeah, but just 1 second before we continue, we do have a call. So I just want
to. You were saying.
Yeah. So hello, caller. Can you hear me? Yes. Hi. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is David Lonergan. I'm calling you from New York City.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you for calling in, David. Do you have a question or a comment to make for Mikal?
Well, I do have a comment. I actually work with Vital Warrior. I'm a good friend of Mikal Vega's. I'm actually a veteran, and I'm actually a Kundalini Yoga teacher.
Oh, wonderful.
Vital Warrior sponsored me to become a teacher, so I want to, give a little shout-out to them. They've been tremendous.
Fabulous. Yes. I think I read did you do a testimonial on the website?
You know what? I know the website's been updated. I might have. I'm not sure. I haven't looked recently. Okay. So I
just your name sounded familiar. But anyway, that's incredible. So so you were actually so inspired that you became a Kundalini teacher yourself.
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, Vital Warrior sponsored me to become one through Mikal, through his urging, and it's been fabulous. It's transformed my life. It's changed my life in every facet. Wow. Kundalini Yoga is amazing.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
How long have you been doing it for?
4 years now. I went through teacher training in 2015.
Wow.
Lovely.
Incredible.
And so you're teaching in New York, back east?
Well, no, I'm actually just working right now in New York. I actually live in the Los Angeles area.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm not too far from
you're
Mikal.
back east right now.
So
I got you.
I'm affiliated with Rama, where Mikal is. And we do a bunch of work through that place.
Okay, fabulous. We're going to come and have to visit you guys
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna hear all
We
about
can't
the
wait.
program.
Yes.
I really want to hear about it. Yeah.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
it truly is amazing what it does. It's no exaggeration. I mean, it helps in every area of your life, literally. I'm not exaggerating
does.
at all.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So important.
I used to be a Kundalini devotee many years ago, but yes, it is incredible. Absolutely, I can attest to that. But
Yes.
thank you so much for calling in. That's wonderful.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, enjoy the rest of
Okay.
your day.
Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye now.
And thank you for your service, I should say.
That's really cool because
Yes.
Yeah.
to change lives like that.
Yeah.
David's
you know?
been great. David came up when I was still dealing with a lot of combat-related injuries, and I kept trying to get back in shape after the surgeries and everything, and I kept re-injuring myself. And he's a personal trainer, and
he is.
was the
Okay.
initial person that took it upon himself to kind of like help guide me through around those injuries.
Yeah.
So let's talk about those injuries, how you sustained them, and what exactly
Yeah,
they were.
going
So-
back
so-
to getting into the SEALs.
Yeah, so I went into the teams back in the end of '98. I went to BUDS training finally, class 224, graduated an original member of the class, and went to SEAL Team 8. I spent a number of years there, and because of the surge and 9/11 today, I wound up staying at SEAL Team 8 for the majority of my career there. Because I kept going up in rank and there was a need and kept going down range. And during the first deployment, there was a roadside IED that low ordered on my
in
vehicle.
Afghanistan. Are we talking?
No,
where
Iraq.
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 Okay.
I was never in
Oh,
Afghanistan.
okay.
Yeah. And so that IED low ordered, meaning it didn't function properly. I was in the turret of a Humvee, and I started getting this like massive headache. I thought I just pulled the muscles in my back and my neck really bad, and I didn't think anything of it. And I thought something of it. That's not true. I thought that I had to keep it quiet. Otherwise, I was going to get sent out of there.
Yeah.
So I do what anybody else does. I go up to the corpsman and I go, "Hey, dude, you got anything for this? Something's really killing my ear, and like my whole side of my face is killing me." And he's like, none of us put two and two together thinking it was a blast. None of us thought it was that. I only had minor scratches from it, and it wasn't. I mean, didn't even disable the vehicle. It drove right through. So they're like, "Dude, there's nothing wrong with your ear." And then they started to escalate it and sent me up to the top of the hill to get it checked out. And I was like, "No, it's okay, it's cool," And I saw where it was going. It was going to be, have to be shipped out to get looked at.
Yeah.
And we had just gotten there, and I didn't want to leave,
Yeah.
And
But.
so I after about a month of that, pain, it started to fade a little bit. But then over the next 5 years, I'd like turn my head and I'd like get this white hot flash of pain, and then like I couldn't.
5 years.
Then I
my
couldn't
goodness.
turn my head for like 3 weeks, and but continued, doing what we do, and just thinking that it's a part of the job, right? Because it is really.
Yeah.
I mean, it is part of the job.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I came back from the last tour that things started to really go downhill for me, and I got to where I couldn't sleep for 4 days at a pop.
Wow.
And they started putting. Once the pills started, that was then it just accelerated.
That just becomes a
Flat
snowball
spin.
thing. Yeah.
And here's the thing. We're not against medication when
No,
it's
exactly.
used properly and everything
Exactly.
like that. We're not against it. It's just I think that we have too much of a system built that turns to a psychotropic drug before really ascertaining whether or not the person really needs it.
Yeah, and also
So
if
many
there's
other
something they can
avenues.
do at the core to fix the problem rather than just keep,
put a Band-Aid
put
on
a Band-Aid
it.
on it.
That's
Absolutely.
what drugs
Yeah.
do. They don't let you feel the pain, so you can't get to the core of the problem. The core of the problem is figuring out the source of the problem,
Absolutely.
fixing that, and then
here's the
healing
trick
from
to
there.
this. Here's the trick to that is, think of this. We pay so much money to go to someone else, for them to tell us what's going on inside of our own heads.
Exactly.
That's
Instead of
hear you loud and
teaching the individual how to look inside their own mind, into their own consciousness, and ascertain for themselves where those obstacles are and how to navigate and how to have the strength to navigate around them and dismantle the negative projections that aren't serving us, that keep us in that same
But
space.
that's unfortunately our culture is we're encouraged to keep looking outside of ourselves,
And the
whereas
quick
all
fix.
the
Which is
answers.
so
and
ironic.
the
Exactly.
quick fix, because somebody's got the quick fix. Somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who's got the quick fix, and it's going to make everything
But that's
better.
somebody else's
you know?
wisdom. I mean, we
And
have
that-
our own guidance and
Well,
wisdom
here's the
within
irony
us.
in that.
We need
In
people
the
to-
warrior mindset,
Yeah.
in the modern day warfighter, here's the irony in that. We model ourselves after warrior societies throughout history for our ethos. The Spartans, the American Indian, the samurai, it goes on and on and on.
All of the superheroes.
All of them had an innate connection to spirit in everything they did. It was a part of their way of life.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
It wasn't something they just did on Sundays.
Yeah.
It was something that was innately attached to everything they did. It drove their purpose.
Because
Right.
they had their own experience of their own inner wisdom, their own inner guidance, their own spirit. I mean, we've disconnected from that.
Well, because
unfortunately.
we've come up with all the ways to take that away from the individual for people
Absolutely.
to profit, really, basically. If you think about it.
Yeah,
the
I mean,
pharmaceutical
there's
companies,
that.
Doctors that specialize. And again, there is a time and place
Yes.
for medications and doctors and seeing specialists. Absolutely. But you're right. We have it within us, too. But sometimes it takes someone to bring out what and that's, I know through yoga you're doing that. And meeting with somebody who can help you dig deep enough to realize that you have the answers within you.
Right.
So
Continue with your story then. So
Yeah.
I accelerated after 5 years. You were not sleeping at night.
Yeah.
You were,
Long story within the confines of
Yes.
our bandwidth is that invariably I was sent to the West Coast to heal. And in 2009, I had neurosurgery to decompress my C5 and C6 that they suspect was fractured from the IED. So they went in, they dremeled out the space. I mean, it was where I couldn't lift my back I couldn't lift my arm without using my back, my scapula. would
this
wing
was
out.
before surgery.
This was before surgery.
Yeah.
So
I had
it just
lost
was
like
getting worse and worse.
90% of grip strength in this hand
Wow.
compared to this hand, and I kept getting these massive like dizzy spells, and so they.
Oh, we have another caller. Hold
Okay.
on one
you
second.
are very popular. We will get to the end of the story.
Hi, caller. Where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Hi, my name is Darren Ross. I'm calling right here from Los Angeles.
Hi, Darren. Welcome to our show. Do you have a comment or a question for Miguel?
I do. It's more of a comment because Mikal is my teacher and good friend. So it's just more about the fortunate opportunity I have in training with him and what I've gotten out of that in my life.
Wonderful. Can you give us a little more detail? How has it helped you? Give us an example.
I would say if I could sum it up in one word, it would be service. I've learned what service really means by having a teacher like Mikal, because not only is he obviously a Kundalini yoga teacher, he is a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL. So nobody's going to teach you service better than that. And obviously there's a lot of words within service, like honor, duty, sacrifice, discipline, focus, and accountability, ownership. But Mikal has taught me that there's two ways of service. There's being of service to others and being of service to yourself. Obviously, someone like a Navy SEAL who is of ultimate service, the highest service, which is giving your life for others, which even if we're not in military or we're not in law enforcement or something like that, we can still be of service to others in many ways that are almost like sacrifice. We can give authentically to others.
That's beautiful. I love that.
And then so that's one way, right? Is authentically giving to others, not out of obligation, not out of debt, not out of manipulation, but because you really truly care and you want to give of yourself to someone because you simply can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
so
really what
lovely.
matters.
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
really
the
is. That's
bottom
what
line.
fulfills us is when
What's
we're
the purpose?
Yes,
Yes.
it's the purpose of
Yes.
being here on this planet.
You're obviously imparting that really well.
Yes, I love that.
Yes,
That's
it's
really
outstanding.
great. Well, thank
And
you.
then there's being of service to yourself in mind, body, and spirit.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Yes.
unless we are in service
Which
to
we
ourselves,
were.
we don't have much to give to others. So it's definitely part of it for
And we
sure.
were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
All right. Well, lovely. Thank you
you.
so much for calling in and
you.
giving your comments. Thank
yes.
you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And you too.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Honor and pleasure.
So these are
Yeah.
great little endorsements
Yes.
and
Yeah, yeah.
testimonials.
And
that
that's
I
the
mean, you're
thing.
really
So-
changing lives, and really that's a purpose of what we were just saying.
Here's
There's
the
nothing
thing.
better.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're getting word out there, but there's so much more to be done. We need to get this out on a much broader scale, and there's been so many people that have great intent, and they're like, yeah, this is awesome. Let us know when you get it up and running. Okay,
No,
great.
you need
And
you need the help now.
So going
well,
back,
that's
so-
the thing.
yeah.
That's the thing. And people do. Don't get me wrong. People do. But we can do so much more.
Yeah.
We can do so much more. There's a long-term plan, that I know will align itself in the way that it's supposed to do. And that's what I do is I use film and television I'm here.
There's no
Yeah,
great
exactly.
medium. There's no greater medium to get the word out.
broadcast this.
Yeah, exactly.
And just keep sharing your message wherever
So-
and whenever you can.
Absolutely.
So through healing from your injuries, so you had this surgery, and through the healing, you realized that there was a better way to heal than going down that.
yeah. So what had happened was there was a, and it's not all their fault. Part of it's my fault because the stuff they were giving me wasn't working. So
Yeah.
what did I do? I started
Take
drinking.
more.
I started
Okay.
drinking, or I'd take
Okay.
more. Or,
So, yeah. Well, just
Adderall.
numb the pain.
I was
Numb
on
it.
Adderall for like ever, and that I was abusing the hell out of that.
Can
and-
numb the physical pain and
Yeah,
the mental
everything.
pain. It was
Everything.
just
It was
letting
just
you
trying to-
glide. Yeah.
And so I was on 13 different medications at one point, and started to have a pharmaceutically induced cardiac arrest.
Oh,
my goodness.
And so at least that's what I think it was. I mean, because nobody was there. And except a whole bunch of Bud students.
But it was a wake up call, regardless of
It
what
was.
Yeah.
And because I was in a place, and I'm talking to whoever out there might be listening to this that might be in that place right now. There was a place that I was in where it seemed like all the color was drained out of life. And that I was stuck in such a place that when I thought I was going to die, it was a sense of relief.
because it would all go away,
Like,
make the
finally.
pain, the physical
It
and
was just
mental go
finally.
away. Yeah.
It wasn't even so much that as not feeling anything,
Mm-hmm.
which is infinitely worse than feeling sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard people express that who are suicidal. It
Was just. It was, and I didn't think about killing myself or anything like that, but I started to understand why
people
did,
do.
which I knew was right there.
Yeah.
So what turned it around for you? What
I didn't
was-
die.
Yeah.
I didn't die, and I finally felt something. And it wasn't rage, it wasn't anger, it was fury.
Okay.
And so I started to...
But you felt something, so that was good, even
Yeah.
if it was fury.
Yeah.
'Cause you were feeling
and
again.
It gave me... And that fury gave me a purpose.
Good.
It sparked something inside of me that made me revolt against the system, that medical system. I stopped going in talking about my negative stuff twice a week, to some lieutenant that was just trying to, get to the next part of her training.
Yeah. It wasn't listening.
And I stopped. And use a doctor's supervision. Don't do what I did. I got off these pills on my own, and started to really reel then you know, but I just
I mean,
white
you
knuckled
really have
through
to
it.
start to feel. It forces you to.
Well, no, just like
I love what you said, though, that you don't do what you did, which is because some of those coming off those things cold turkey can be so dangerous.
You
yes,
have to
and that's
wean
what
it.
I
You
did,
gotta
Yes.
wean it
and that
slowly.
danger was very real.
Yes.
And I worried a lot of people. But I white knuckled through it, and what I started to do was
Without
things that-
help, no rehab?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
And so what I started to do was things that throughout my career had made me feel better, and one of them is rolfing, and so that's a myofascial release that really I used in the past to increase performance, but it also like made me feel better and everything. So I started with that, then got into acupuncture, and from acupuncture I started looking more at yoga. And I got into Bikram's yoga, did that for a while, but then I got to a certain level where I was like, man, something's still really missing here. And I found out about Kundalini energy and meditations, and that there was a Kundalini yoga. And I was like, wow. And this is very important right here. So I started to look at Kundalini yoga teachers in San Diego, and I was like looking. I went into a couple of these things, and I was like, this is not it. And then one day I came to L.A. I was medically discharged in 2012, came to L.A. to pursue acting, you know, as a career. And so while I was here, I was at my voice coach, and I met somebody there that goes, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. And I was rolling my eyes. Another Kundalini yoga teacher.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah, I've heard this before. And she's like, no, I teach at this Kundalini yoga studio. You should go. And I'm like, there's a Kundalini yoga studio? Because I was doing this in people's garages and stuff, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, I'll go check that out. Hope is alive again.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the big word right there.
And so
ticket.
I went in and I went to the class, and I had such a profound experience that I literally, and this is me, okay, I heard somebody tell me in my ear while I was laying there with that gong saying that I'd spread this energy across the globe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To the point that it shocked
Powerful.
me. Like
That is so
jumped.
powerful.
I jumped, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh. And I went up to the teacher, which was Guru Jagat, that owns Rama now. And I was like, hey, I see you guys got a teacher training coming up here. I'd love to, I have to become a teacher of this.
Wow.
And she's like, I think she might even waved her fingers like this. She's like, this isn't where you want to go to teacher training. I was like, this isn't where I want to go to teacher training.
Yeah.
And she goes, you need to go see Hadi Jivan. And I was like, okay, Hadi Jivan. I got to go see Hadi Jivan. This is basically like going to see Yoda,
Yeah.
right? So I go in, never met these people before in my life. I'm in the back of the room. We start doing, they start the yoga. They look at me, they stop, and they go, you'll spread this energy across the globe.
Wow.
And I was like,
Wow.
You just said, I've heard,
That's so
I already got that
intuitive.
message.
yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
You know what?
so
We're going to take a
intuitive.
break right here for a second because we have another caller.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
hello, caller. Hello, are you there?
Hello,
Hi. What's
Yes,
your
I
name and
am.
where are you calling from?
my name is Jim, and I'm calling from Nigeria. How are you?
Oh, my goodness. Hi, Jim. We're good. How are
We're
you?
excellent. So I think you just made Mikal
Oh my
speechless.
gosh.
Do you have a comment or a question for Mikal?
Yeah, I just want to thank him for what he's doing for the veterans, for the community, for our country, and most importantly, for himself. It's incredible what he's done, and everybody should take as much heed as you possibly can from the wisdom that he's going to put forth or already has put forth. I'm a little late on the call, sorry, but
That's okay. Now, are you sorry, my mind is blanking here. Now, were you in the military too?
yes, I was.
You are a veteran. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you again.
This man saved my life.
Oh, wonderful.
really?
Okay, we're going to
Okay.
hear some wonderful things about you
Are you
now.
stationed in Nigeria right now, or that's where you live?
No, it's where I hang out.
Good place to hang out. better than LA. That's so incredible. And thank you again on this September 11th. Thanks for your service.
Yes.
And we're going to go to Mikal right now because he's going to tell us what a great guy you are.
Yeah.
So,
we're going to get some.
So continue listening and you'll hear about yourself, okay?
Ladies, thanks for having me on the show. And thank you
wonderful.
for having
Our pleasure.
Mikal on
Thank
the show.
you.
That's tip top.
Thank you for being on the show, brother.
That's great. Thank you for the endorsement and thank you for your service. Big time.
Okay, so
let's
hear the story.
Jim is he was one of the people that I was talking to you before, that one of those leaders that I was telling you about that saw something and got behind me.
Okay.
More so than anybody else, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it happened in a manner that that really afforded me the opportunity while I was healing to really ascertain what was going on with myself. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be right now.
So beautiful.
You know, so
it's always good to have that support and have somebody see the things that we can't see for ourselves
and be part of this story and part of the journey for what you're doing today and helping all the other people that you're helping.
Yeah.
So
that was a huge surprise.
Well,
that was a huge surprise.
He probably saw that you were going to be on.
Wow.
But, you know.
It's a long way to call from. What time is it in Nigeria
there was
right now?
something bigger than you that had to, get out there and do exactly what the yoga teachers saw in you, too, that know that you had a bigger message and a bigger way to send it.
Yeah, we are actually sort of coming down on our time here a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I want to really focus in on, clearly with the testimonials you've had, the work that you're doing is incredible. But what else, what is it you need out there from other people? How can we all help you?
So what I'm good at, I know what I'm good at. Mm-hmm. You know, what I'm good at is, delivering these teachings as accurately as possible because my teacher delivers them as accurately as possible. So I just kind of get out of the way and let that come through. Yeah. And I'm getting pretty decent at doing that. And so the message comes through and it's being broadcast. I need a larger platform to which we can broadcast it. Mm-hmm. And so how are we doing that? We're making products, film and television wise, narrative, documentary style. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're working on a mantra album, and there's free online courses through Vital Warrior. Just reach out to info@vitalwarrior.org. And if you're a veteran or a first responder, we'll get you signed up with a free account for online courses or in the studio. Okay. We also have, we need funds to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Right now, also we have free chiropractic. Dr. Patek is the one that introduced me to you guys and had me come on the show. I'm super grateful to him. He's a saint.
So he helped you after your surgery to heal even more
it's a
in
cervical
a natural
thing,
because
and
he's
it's
a
still
holistic
very much a
chiropractor.
real thing. It's a constant thing. Mm-hmm. There's no I've arrived or anything like that.
No, and I'm done.
This is a
You're
constant
never done.
work.
Yes,
and the more you work, the more you uncover, and the higher levels of challenges you get to face.
Yes, wow.
because the challenges that you face are a reward for your work. Mm. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because without those challenges, you just stay the same.
No, exactly. That's what I say. When you go through really difficult, challenging times, you really get to discover the incredible strength that is within you, your own, as you say, innate well-being, your own wisdom. All of those things come out to the surface when you're challenged.
Yeah, and Kundalini Yoga is like a martial art against yourself. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a martial art against yourself because you're constantly going against your own subconscious mind, which everybody has to fight. Mm-hmm. And that's why everybody has a warrior in themselves, because they are fighting for control of the subconscious mind so that they can harness its power to project in a way that reminds people of purpose and their talents and how to use those talents to uplift and inspire others to do the same for others.
Wow.
Clearly.
And that's why you call it Vital Warriors.
Yes.
That's where the name comes from.
And do we still have that caller? Nope.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
we just lost
We
another
had
caller.
another
Sorry, but I wanted you to finish your point. Sorry, caller. Thank you for hanging in
You
there.
could
but
call back. We do
yes.
have a few minutes.
Yes.
So the organization was born out of after you went through all of this healing and took teacher training. Did you do it? Was it during the time that you were training to be a teacher?
No, it was kind of like we were flying the plane while putting it together.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
It's a good way to know what parts you need.
you needed wings and an engine.
Yeah. You don't want to
So-
crash, so you
so-
got to take it nice and one
And
step
some
at a
fuel.
time. Yeah.
And so just working with Huddy Jeevan and Dr. Patak and a couple of other organizations, we started putting things together that we could offer right now because I was wasting time, trying to bang my head against the VA door. Hey, we got this thing. It really works. It's like a very small voice in a very large,
Organization.
chaos.
Yeah.
Do you do any fundraising, or how do you get
And see, I'm a one-man show while
Yeah.
we're doing this, in keeping in mind the other people that help out where they can, because everybody's living, And
Yes.
what people do a lot of times, I feel is they're like, yeah, we're going to help out with the nonprofit till they realize, wait a minute, there's no profit,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah,
you're
or they
really
pick and
working.
choose.
Yeah. So.
There's some that are louder than others. That's all.
So what we're doing now is we're in post on we're getting ready to lay down the vocals for the Mantra album, and then we have a short that's coming out, and it's our intent is to start developing more content that will raise funds for more services for the veterans that we're serving.
Okay.
And so if anybody out there is genuinely interested in that type of endeavor, by all means reach out to us. And we need flat out donations. We need money to be able to do these things.
And are there any services that people can donate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
sort
Dr.
of-
Patak's doing.
Yes,
That's what
right.
Rama
So-
Yoga Institute is doing.
Yeah.
They're
so name
donating.
some other services that could be helpful.
Yeah, that people
for.
can get. in touch
So
with
the
you.
whole thing is for pain management, far infrared spectrum therapy, flotation therapy, and acupuncture are three big ones that we're still missing. I'm still, because they're expensive.
No, I know,
people
and I
can't-
see that you use infrared. So do you have a place where people can go to do that, or is that
No,
something
we
you
don't
need?
yet.
You don't yet,
so
but
the
that's
only
something.
things that we have right now is we have the online and in studio Kundalini yoga classes, which is the most important. You got to start
No,
getting on
exactly.
those. There's no reason you can't get on your computer or your phone or whatever and start doing
start
some of those
doing it,
classes
yeah.
with Huddy Jeevan, Guru Jazz, or myself. It's free for you.
Sure.
So the other thing is getting out, and if you're in Los Angeles, Dr. Patak sees veterans through Vital Warrior. Come through info at vitalwarrior.org, and we'll get you set up. Don't just show up there, but come through us, and we'll get you all lined up. The other thing is that there's where we have a pilot program starting with Meraki Brazilian
Oh, I saw
Jiu-Jitsu.
that.
With Kenny Florian and his partner to 6-month scholarship for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for beginner. And nobody's come forward on that, which is very interesting.
Well, yeah.
know,
Hopefully now getting
Yes.
the word out on our show will help.
That should be a tremendous help. The other thing is, social media. If you have skills in social media and you're interested in writing or creating articles for Vital Warrior or our website, please reach out to us. We could absolutely use that type of help as well. Just helping spread the word.
What's the short that you're doing? Is it sort of documentary style?
It's
or
more like a reenactment. It's basically my story.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Very cool.
Tim Abel plays the lead in it. Darren, who called in, is the executive producer of it. And people have donated services to that as well, like doing post and those types of things for the film. That's another thing that, if you have those types of skill sets and you want to donate time, helping us, create this content, then by all means, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, is that project near to completion, or where?
It is.
Is it going to be in film festivals, or
we're gonna put it in film festivals and run the circuit there, GI Film Fest, all these types of things.
What a great way, because that's a great way to get the word out. Is that people can recognize themselves in your story seen visually.
And guess what? There's a lot of veterans out there that want to work in film and television, and it also gives them jobs to do it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So,
you're, not what
the lead actor is a veteran.
Fabulous, wonderful. Now, do you have any up and coming events, or do you ever have any sort of open house at the studio, or where people can come in and you can direct them, or anything like that?
Absolutely. Well, I teach Kundalini Yoga every Sunday at 11 o'clock, unless there's a special event going on at the Rama Yoga Institute in Venice.
I'll have to rush from my spin class because I teach till 10:30 , but I'll
come on.
All I have to do,
I'd love to see you there.
Teach right around the corner from where I live.
And then Fridays, one Friday right now per month, I do a special sound workshop using the gong. And it's incredibly powerful. Show up, check it out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's an experience.
Okay, and that's, sorry, you said every Friday, or?
No.
The first Friday of the
check
month?
the schedule. It changes. It's new.
So if people wanted to come and find you, they can come on Sunday mornings at 11. They can come on the Friday when they check the schedule for the sound bath.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if I'm not available, I highly recommend you can go to my teacher, Hadi Jeevan. He doesn't teach as much in the studio these days, but if you see him on the schedule, I highly recommend you get in there. Guru Jagat's another great one. That I went to her class first. She pointed me to Hadi Jeevan. And Guru Jas is another great one.
Can I ask you, before we lose time, what makes Kundalini Yoga different from other modalities of yoga? Because for those that don't know.
Kundalini Yoga is the yoga of awareness. Okay. And so just to encapsulate this very quickly, it's a technology that will take you through your own discipline and harnessing prana through your breath, using breath work and mantra as a vehicle to take you from wherever you're at to accelerate your neural capacity for handling larger loads, and so that you can perform at a much higher level. So basically, the core of Vital Warrior is the same as Kundalini Yoga, to increase your ability, non-pharmaceutically, increase your ability to mitigate stress through non-pharmaceutical stress mitigation techniques. And so there's thousands of different things in Kundalini Yoga. So if you go to the first thing, the first thing you go to, you're like, I didn't really. There's thousands of things in Kundalini Yoga that you can tune into. Yeah. If you want to just sit there and breathe and just like say Satnam.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. There's stuff like that. If you want to get hardcore and you want to have your arms up at 60-degree angle for 62 minutes, doing breath of fire, you can do that too.
Ouch.
Exactly.
You can do that too. So that all exists. Wow. And I'm not saying start there.
No,
I'm not saying start by waking up at 4:30, taking ice cold showers, and then starting your meditation. I'm not saying to start there.
Is that part of it?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I know.
Your sadhana is that's what sadhana is.
Now, do you do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it a daily thing?
Yes.
Of
course. You shower every day.
Thing.
I remember when I did it, my Sikh teachers used to say to me, kept saying, so what do I have to do? And they're like, first thing was get up in the morning and have the cold shower at like.
Well, yeah, I don't tell people to start there.
Yeah.
I tell people to just start by doing 3 minutes a day whenever you can do it.
Yeah.
It will take its own life on. And the idea is that everybody can do it. It's designed for householders. It's designed to augment and complement whatever you're doing and make it better. It's not saying, hey, stop everything else, do this.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you do this in
It's part of
addition
life.
to,
Right.
and it will make whatever it is you're doing better. We do Kundalini
who
yoga
doesn't want
because
that?
it's so fast.
Yeah.
So 7 years of Hatha equals 1 year of Kundalini yoga.
Wow.
You can get to New York by walking, or you could take a jet.
Very
I
cool. Well,
love
good
that.
description. Thank you, because
Yes,
that
was
helped
a,
me.
That was a
'cause I
great
wasn't
note to end
sure.
on
Yeah.
there. So,
Wow. And
Yeah.
we hope people will get involved with you. Again,
They will.
say how
They
they can
will.
reach you. Tell our
Definitely.
audience how they can reach you.
Yes.
again.
Your
Okay,
website again.
so I can be reached through Instagram at Mikal Vega, and we're also reachable at www.vitalwarrior.org, not .org, and info@vitalwarrior.org is the email address. So if you're out there, just take advantage of it. We've set up. There's a lot of people that sign up for the online stuff because it's all over the world, right? So, but if you can make it into the studio, that's even more powerful.
That's the ticket.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
That's what you want.
But you'll still get the teachings through the online course as well. So I really hope
So
you tune into
wonderful
that,
what
and
you're
then take
doing.
advantage of the chiropractic that's being
Yes,
offered.
absolutely.
I can attest, Dr.
Yes.
Patak is helping me. Somebody
Yes.
born with scoliosis, he's helping me
Yeah.
gain 2
He's
inches.
amazing.
In my
He's
60s,
amazing.
he's helping me gain 2 inches.
He's
Thank you,
helping a
Dr.
number of
Patak.
veterans,
Yeah.
right now. But we just got to get the word out.
Yes. Wonderful.
Lovely.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your
Yes.
time coming
Oh,
in
man,
here
your
it's
today.
an honor.
service
It's an honor.
and
Thank you for
everything
having
that
me.
you're doing. It's incredible.
Your purpose
Thank you for
and
having me.
getting the word out.
Yeah.
And we thank you. Go ahead and enjoy the
Yes.
day. Thank you so much for joining
you for
us
joining
today.
us.
We'll be here next week.
Yes.
Dell and Debbie's Mind, Body, Soul. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.